What a wet morning to start the day. Kind of a bummer, guys. I wanted to go out and show you around DC today, but, well, it's cloudy and wet. Morning, guys. It is, well, there's a loud bird up there. It is Tuesday morning, the day after Labor Day, and I am just getting up. We're going to head into Washington, D.C. probably, but it is, as you can tell from the clouds up here, gray skies, rain, meh. Not sure what we can see in the city when it's raining. Anyway, we'll try to find something. So guys, I'm now in Washington, D.C. about 2 hours later, and look at that. Blue sky kind of day, sort of. It might rain, but weather here is pretty crazy. Yep, what a difference a few hours makes in the weather here. Back out in the beach, it was covered in clouds and rain. My drive-in was slippery and now I'm here in the city at the National Cathedral in Upper Northwest, and the skies are blue. Well, they got some clouds, but basically blue. All right, let's head downtown, guys. It is yet another boring day in Washington, D.C. The cabinet is meeting right now at the White House, but I don't think I can get down to the White House in time, and there's not much to see, just a bunch of motorcades. Nothing else really going on. Congress isn't in session until next week, but hey, let's head downtown and who knows what we might encounter in the big city. So as we make our way down Embassy Row, this is the Vatican's embassy. Though it has a really complex name, I just call it the embassy. This is Finland's embassy. It's a pretty modern looking building. It actually goes down several floors in the back into the park. And across the street behind the trees is the Vice President's house at the U.S. Naval Observatory. Can't really see it in the summertime. Trees block the view. And on our left, there's usually a bunch of deer. Don't know if we'll see them right now. We see them usually around sunset. The deer like to come up from the park down here, and sometimes they get in traffic and it gets a little ugly. All right, let's just keep going down Embassy Row. So over there on my right is the British Embassy. They've got a new Prime Minister today. Truss is the new Prime Minister and replacing Boris Johnson. I don't know if they've switched the photos around already inside the embassy. I don't even know if they'll replace the ambassador. They could. She could put in someone she likes. This is the South African embassy with the Mandela statue. And this is the former Iranian embassy, currently unoccupied, used for parking for all the contractors at the British Embassy. And this is the Iranian ambassador's house, also unoccupied. Pretty posh place. And let's just go down this way a bit. Let's cut back this way today, simply because there's too much traffic on Massachusetts Avenue. And we can cut through here. Back behind that road, that is Barack Obama's house, protected by the Secret Service. We can't go down that way. We can go up this way, though. Back into the Kalorama neighborhood. That's the Embassy of Guyana. And the White House, this was Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump's house. Currently, I thought it was on the market, but maybe it's been rented. Boy, this bike is a squeaky one today, isn't it? Let's go back to the Palm restaurant right over here. This is a power restaurant, power steak place. You can tell how important you are by how far back they sit you in the restaurant, yeah? Basically, if you've been on CNN, you sit in the back, or if you've been on Fox News, you sit in the back. If you're just a young guy, tourist, you'll sit in the front. Is this a two-lane bikeway? No, not technically, but you know, I can make it one. Let's just run the light because it's the city. This is an artsy-fartsy thing made out of 2x4s, I guess. Hey, whatever floats your boat. Okay, we are arriving at Lafayette Park. Where it's pretty quiet today. Oh, there's the motorcade vehicles of the cabinet secretaries. Looks like they're coming out now. Meeting was at 1:15. It's now 2:15-ish. So yeah, about an hour-long cabinet meeting. I think that's probably most people's attention spans for office meetings. Let's avoid all these tourists, yeah? There's the motorcade vehicles. Now, pretty much every cabinet secretary has a driver. Some of them have security and a driver. For example, the Secretary of Defense has like 5 vehicles. Secretary of State has 2 or 3. Hey, there's some protesters here. Protesting who knows what, but they've got signs out here. Now, the Secretary of Transportation, he actually drives an electric vehicle. I think he's like the only one. Lieutenant Ridge, wrongfully with these 10 minutes while they're talking about some soldier. Ah, look at all the cars here. I bet we could probably see. Let's see if we can see some cabinet secretaries, yeah? Maybe we'll go back and get out the big camera. That'd be something fun to do. Means I gotta swing through all these tourists one more time, though. Easier now. I was stuck behind a whole bunch of tourists. But now we can go through. There's literally 24 Suburbans in here. I would love to have the GMC Suburban, Chevy Suburban contract for the US government. Oh, they're protesting someone being held in Japan or Okinawa. Sometimes our sailors and Marines get arrested in Japan and Okinawa. It's a big sore point between US and Japan. We got 6 vehicles. I guess most of the cabinet is left, or some of them might be around the side, like the SecDef and whatnot. Let's see what tourists are up to. Now, some of you asked me, how's the tree doing? The tree that got struck by lightning. And the answer is, it still looks pretty green. I mean, I thought it might be dying, but we're not really seeing much sign of it. Maybe this does look a little burned out, doesn't it? I'm not sure if that's healthy. Now, up there is where the lightning bolts hit. You can see the marks there, where there's a big one right there where the lightning just ripped the bark right off. Someone told me trees that get struck by lightning die. Not sure, but it's very possible this one could be on its way out. This may be the last year it's around. Yeah, there's some more lightning damage in there. But right now the leaves are still green, but the bark definitely looks a bit odd. Look at that. That big white splotch down there, that doesn't really look normal. Maybe wow, look at those clouds. Let's ride out here because these clouds are just really pretty impressive. Yeah, I'm sorry. I looked at my demographic information for the people who watch my channel, and I have a hint, I got a hint that people that watch my channel probably like the weather. Those are pretty impressive clouds today. All right. National Christmas tree still alive. Very good. Accomplishment over last year's Christmas tree. And let's see what we've got going on here. We got some workmen out on the south lawn today, filling in some sod. No dog. They're putting in some sort of sod. That's right about where the helicopter lands too. Maybe Marine One made a hole. All right, you know what? We haven't been down to the Vietnam Wall in a while. So maybe we'll swing down towards the Lincoln and take a walk down by the wall. Maybe something new today. This is the road to the Lincoln Memorial, but let's just go down the reflecting pool because, well, it's reflecting and it's pretty. And let's go down to the Lincoln. We'll dump the bike and hit the Vietnam. The Korean War Memorial is over on my left, and the Vietnam War Memorial is over to the right, and then Abraham Lincoln is in the middle. Jets coming out of Reagan. There we go. So some of you are asking about the no-fly zone. Basically, where that jet is right now, that's okay. That's the Potomac River. You can fly over that. But from here, everything to my right, all the way to the U.S. Capitol, that's the no-fly zone. So the border is basically the Potomac River. And then down to my right to the U.S. Capitol, and only about a mile wide, is P-56 Alpha, the restricted airspace over the White House and Capitol. But even then, it's only at 18,000 feet. So like those contrails you see up there, those jets were much higher and they were able to fly right over the White House. All right, we're going to walk over to Vietnam, which is on the other side of the Lincoln. It's so pretty. Oh, hear a helicopter. So over there, we can just hear the thump of a helicopter, probably a Black Hawk or a Huey. The Pentagon is right over on the other side of those trees, on the other side of the river. And they're responsible for most of the helicopter traffic in D.C., which is considerable. What do we got coming? A Black Hawk? Yep, no, it's a Huey. Helicopter Squadron 1 of the U.S. Air Force, the Muscle flights. They're the VIP transport in D.C. And is he going to loop this way or is he going to go behind the building? I think he went behind. Oh well. So right down over there, that's the Vietnam Wall. But before you get there, you can come and check this. This is the register. Let me put my camera underneath. And these are the names of the fallen. Alphabetical. And there are over 50,000 names. Now, there's nobody with my last name, but there are also many. How many pages are there? 356 pages of names. Absolutely tragic. Let's go take a look at some of them. It's actually pretty empty today, to be honest. So, right here is our first name, but this is not the first name. The first casualty and the last casualty are down at the bottom, so we are right about in the middle of the casualties. They are all arranged chronologically, starting in the middle and then ending in the middle. One of the more overpowering things about this monument is how you go down and it gets deeper and deeper and the names get higher and higher until it's overwhelming, honestly. I mean, at this point, we're already over 6 feet tall of names, and we still have more and more to go. Now, let me see if I can show you some. Now, for example, right here, this gentleman, Larry Tenda, you can see his carving is a little bit fresher than the others. And that's because he died, he could have died from Agent Orange exposure, but died now. Or they might have found his body and discovered he was killed in action. And they add those names later in some of the gaps. Now here you see a name, Jimmy Lee Coleman. And Jimmy Lee Coleman, there is a plus sign. You see that? Plus sign. Everybody else has a diamond. What the plus sign means is that Jimmy Lee Coleman is still missing in action. His body has not been recovered and there's no word on his whereabouts. Now, if they should discover him through DNA testing or some other source, they come out here and they fill in the cross and turn it into a diamond. You are seeing the reflections. Now, people lay little tokens here. Charlie Company, the 5th, 46th Infantry, Arkansas, 101st Airborne. So down here is the last casualty, Richard Vandegeer. And this was dedicated November 11th, 1982. The first casualty, Dale R. Buis, B-U-I-S, is up there at the top. But you get some pretty amazing reflections off the monument. Almost like a mirror, yeah? You can see, I can see, I don't know if you can see here, but here are recent additions, Henry Drozdowski and then Danny Joe Wilson. As I walk down here, I can tell because of the way the stone is cut. Not sure if that comes over on the camera. But as I was mentioning how it got heavier, as you come up the other side, it gets lighter as the stones are not as tall as you begin to be able to see over the horizon. In the sense it's, you go down into the depths of the war and then you come back out and it almost is, just sort of feels, you feel kind of better being taken out of it. It's just such a heavy memorial. I don't know if that makes sense. But just how the architecture works. As you go down and then come back up, you just get a sense of out of he's got a nut getting ready for fall. Little guy's got an acorn already. I guess it's that time of year, September, yeah. So over there across the street, that is the main building of the Federal Reserve. And as you can see, it is all boarded up and under construction. They have a major renovation project ongoing at the Federal Reserve. That building and the building next to it are both going to be out of commission for about a year or two. The Fed has moved up to about 18th and K Street Northwest, and a building in the back. The plans are pretty extensive. They're going to build a big glass atrium and make more office space. Let's go down this way. So as you look inside, all you see are these, what I call Home Depot construction lights, yeah? And they're kind of in every light. All the electrical fixtures have been taken out, and now it's just contractor lights as they prepare this building for renovation. You can even see them up at the top level. There you go. So yeah, this one's going to be gutted and rebuilt. So guys, this is Declaration of Independence Constitution Gardens, and it is a small pond right here on the National Mall, and it is dedicated to the signers of the Declaration of Independence. So we're gonna take a step over to the island and check it out. Though sometimes we do see some baby ducks out here, which is kind of cute. What a reflection though. The ducks don't like me. A memorial to the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence, set up in 1976 for the bicentennial. In Congress, the Declaration of Independence on July 4th. So over here we have everyone's signature broken down. These are the people from Pennsylvania who signed. Stockton, Witherspoon, Clark, Hopkins, Hart. Samuel Adams from Boston. John Hancock from Boston. John Adams, future president. And then as we go over here, we see some of the other states who are represented. Where are we here? I think they have the names. Oh yeah, so this is North Carolina. John Penn. And then over here we see Virginia. Thomas Jefferson, lawyer from Albemarle County. And then these are from Maryland. Samuel Chase. And then of course more Philadelphia, including Benjamin Franklin. Let's go see what these ducks are all uppity about. Maybe it was that dog who was here. But this is a very quiet, nice little respite from the hustle and bustle of Washington. That's totally and completely underutilized. It just isn't that popular, I guess. C'est la vie. So let's spin up through this neighborhood. This is DuPont Circle. This is the Colombian Embassy. Stuck back in here. That's the metro station. That has one of the longest escalators in the metro system. It's just massive. That's why they put a roof over it. They found that the cost of the roof was cheaper than the cost of repairing the damage from rain on the escalators over time. Because when you have to replace a several 100-foot escalator, it's pricey. All right, so my kid has a soccer game in about 20 minutes, but there's a really good French fry place down this street. So, yeah. Actually, his game starts in about 20 minutes, but he's got class until 20 minutes from now, so he's going to need to warm up. I don't think he'll be, I think he'll be on the bench when the game starts. I don't think he'll be at the field yet when the game starts. So let's go get some French fries and then just make a fashionably late entrance. Now over there, that white building behind the glass building, where is it? There it is. That's the Hilton Hotel. That's where Ronald Reagan was shot as he came out of a speech in 1981. Yeah, it was many years ago. The Hinckley Hilton, as it's nicknamed in Washington, the Washington Hilton. Okay, we are in Adams Morgan now, guys. And Adams Morgan is the home of the Amsterdam Falafel Shop. And this place has really, really good French fries. And I could go for some French fries right about now. Let's grab some. Yep. Thank you. Okay, before we start walking, let's pull these out. There we go. Looking good now. Let's eat these puppies. Alrighty guys, that is our Tuesday in the books. It was pretty quiet. Tomorrow's going to be kind of quiet too, though. Barack Obama is going to the White House. I might catch his motorcade. His motorcade is really small though. It's like 1 or 2 cars at best. We'll make our way around, check out the Capitol, and we'll see what else happens in the big city. Thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you tomorrow.